Um, I think I definitely had a lot of I guess inhibitions and I feel like I still go through them now. Just because like I feel like I've like I don't know, I think something like doubt is something that's always affected me a lot, like not just in this regard, but just like my entire life, like kind of just self-doubt. So like I've always been the type of person that like has been wanting to do things, but like was afraid of doing them or felt like I wasn't good enough to do them. But I think actually from my experiences like in first year, like I've really like just kind of like come to my own and just kind of encourage myself to just kind of go for it. And I think the way that I've done that is because I realized that like in the end, like I guess the reason why I had a lot of doubt is because I'm mostly afraid of like doing something and it not really working out and not really, I guess, you know, being that impressive or being like that important, like just kind of like uh being set aside almost. I think like that's a lot of something that's like I've struggled with. But then I think in first year, like I really came to my own and just realized that like, those things they don't really matter. And to me, like what really I guess encouraged me was the fact that like I just felt that if I could even just help like one or two people, like I felt like that would make everything kind of worth it because like I just thought like put myself into the shoes of someone who maybe would have been able to see my service, I don't know what to call it, but like be a part of this program. And I just think like me being able to like have an impact on someone else's life was just something that's kind of amazing. So it's even if it's like one person, like I just thought like that was cool in itself. So that's just what kind of motivated me to just put myself out there. I remember like I was so like my hands were shaking when I like put out these forms to my friends like, oh, can you guys sign up like to be a tutor? Can you guys sign up to be a mentor? And like posting on university sites and like trying to like show that like this thing exists. Like I knew that when I did that, like I was kind of just like putting my idea out there for other people to see it and be like and kind of criticize it almost. Like that was what I was most worried about. But I think I got over that just thinking that like, that like kind of noise doesn't really matter. And um just the benefit of being able to kind of impact someone else's life like that is just like I think that really overpowers it.
Yeah, like by creating this initiative, you definitely did put yourself out there and open yourself to like criticism and everything. And I know you were worried about like whether you have the impact you want, but now like after starting Studency, how much of an impact do you think you've had, and are you like happy with it?
um so um like I think it would have been really hard for me to answer this before, but um like maybe like a week ago, just because like everything we were still in the process of um like matching people with their mentors, and tutoring hadn't been going on for quite a long time. But um I realized that like after, so I actually was in a position where I was like, oh, I don't really know if like people really like are getting anything out of this. Like once we send out these matching emails with tutoring, like I don't really know what happens between them or how many times they decide to meet. If like I could something else I think about was like, oh, I could totally imagine like mentors getting matched with each other and then like kind of, I don't know, like I could totally see them forgetting to email each other or just kind of being like whatever because like they just maybe signed up on a whim or something like that. um but um we sent out some feedback forms for our tutoring after it had gone on so a while, and like that was such a good moment because like hearing back that like they're first like I'm just so grateful for our tutors because like you could tell that they put so much effort into tutoring the students, because the feedback was just like amazing. Like they're just saying how like they're like the service like actually helped them and was really helpful. So that felt really good. And sorry, what was your question again?
Oh no, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's really what I was asking. It is really nice to hear. Like you were obviously had inhibitions about um, whether this can make an impact. And like you said, like if you never really even tried starting something, you won't really have an idea of what
Mhm.
impact it had. So it's really great that you went ahead and started it, and you're having just impact um, on a lot of youth.
So I guess I can go next, but we've had a few obstacles we've had to come across. I mean, the first thing really was, our traditionally, we've always been just volunteering in nursing homes. All of our volunteers have been having direct contact with seniors. So we weren't really sure how successful the program was going to be. And one of the biggest obstacles we faced in the beginning was actually getting nursing homes to agree to the program because due to COVID, so many of the nursing homes are understaffed. And, the staff there, a lot of them are very overworked. So, implementing this program, bringing tablets to seniors so they can video chat us is very difficult for them. So once we had our first nursing home on board, then we kind of came into the problem of finding the perfect balance between the number of volunteers we have and the number of seniors we're serving. And unfortunately, this is actually an ongoing problem for our admin team, like just getting that perfect balance together. So as of right now, we have over 200 volunteers signed up. And some of our volunteers are very interested in having one-on-one chats with seniors, but unfortunately, since we just have so many different volunteers and so few seniors in comparison, it's just we have to usually team up on a call and have, two or three volunteers on a call at a time. So those are definitely some of the challenges we're facing, but as a result of seeing those challenges, we've definitely made adjustments on our admin team. We pretty much have around 15 or 16 members who are volunteering on our team just to help seek out new nursing homes for us to increase our expansion of the program and reach more seniors. And we're also now reaching seniors who are living at home. So, it's good that we started to really acknowledge and realize these challenges early on so we could make adjustments on our inside. And like I said, finding that balance between our number of volunteers and seniors we're serving is just going to be an ongoing battle moving forward. But we are adjusting and trying to find ways to cope with it.
Yeah, that's definitely a great way to think about things. Like when you're worried about what challenges you might face, like using those challenges as opportunities to progress your mission is definitely a very valuable mindset to have.
Thank you.
So yeah, I also at the beginning, much like Carla, had a lot of fear that I wouldn't have that much of an impact, and I think that's really common with a lot of individuals who aren't as confident in themselves. And unfortunately for me, the measure of impact that I have is very quantitative. It's measured by the amount of money that I raise. So when I was initially setting a goal for how much money I wanted to raise, I struggled with it a lot because I didn't want to set the goal too high so that I wouldn't reach it. But then I also wanted to set one that was, kind of something that I could work towards and wasn't, something that I would just reach in one day. So I think also spent a lot of time worrying whether this entire initiative would just flop and no one would donate at all, much like Carla. And I think what really helped me get through that worry was just remembering that this initiative um, is to support COVID, and obviously that comes down to someone's life. And a lot of the money that I raise will be donated to, provide masks or PPE, and that could save someone's life. And if I have the ability to help save a life and then I don't take it, that's on me. And so that was really what inspired me and helped me to really keep going. And it turned out great in the end. So the goal I ended up setting was $500, and I hit it in like 6 hours, which to me was incredible because I hadn't really done an online fundraiser like that before, and I wasn't sure anyone was really going to donate, and that was really mind blowing for me. And I didn't really stop there, so we've kind of been um, expanding the goal as we move along. It's now been 2 weeks and we've raised over $1,500, and it's honestly just been incredible. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to add on to that. I don't know, because I think Karen is right. Like, or at least what she was saying about like not being that confident. Like, I think that's like something that like has always been with me throughout high school and university. So I guess like one positive thing about this is that I feel like it's really also helped me gain confidence and kind of learn how to manage my own confidence as well. And I don't know, I also related to kind of what Jaya was saying about like the balance between volunteers and the people that we were supporting, just because at the beginning of all of this, like when I handed out my like the tutoring forms, I got super overwhelmed because we immediately like probably within a couple of days we had around like 90, like it was over 100 tutors sign up and like 30 kids that signed up. So it was just like I felt so bad because like these tutors, like they obviously really wanted to help, and like something that was on my mind was getting the students so that their efforts like would also like they would also be able to provide their efforts too. So yeah, that's just something that I really related to.
I also wanted to ask Jaya, so I was wondering if you had any issues when trying to help the seniors with the tablets or technology and things like that?
Yeah, so actually, that's a really good question. So, with the nursing homes we're currently working with, how it works is the activities director basically will take a tablet and the volunteers will send the activities director Zoom links for a Zoom call. And then the activities director will basically load the Zoom call, like put it in front of the senior, walk away, and then come back and then move it to like the next senior. And that's how it's working because a lot of the seniors don't know how to use technology. That's why we had a program running pre-COVID. So we're kind of excited that, hopefully when this all ends, we can basically send our volunteers and help the seniors learn personally, how they can set up Zoom calls. But the seniors that we are doing Zoom calls with at home, they have to have like some technological capability, or, their children or whoever is they're quarantining with, if they are quarantining with people, would have to have one. But it is definitely an obstacle because we are trying to reach a lot more seniors who are living at home, but most of them just don't hear about the program because, they don't have Facebook, or they don't really know how to like search for us on Google. So yeah, it's a good question. Definitely something we're trying to work through right now.
Yeah, I think that's great that you've managed to work through, or you're working through that currently, because I think that's something that comes to a lot of our minds when we think of like issues when creating initiatives with seniors. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have definitely had a ton of obstacles in creating your programs and your initiatives, but also that you've been able to overcome a lot of them, or even still working towards accomplishing your goals. And I think, however many obstacles you have had so far, it seems like you guys are doing an amazing job, and that's really admirable. One question we do have, though, is because you're doing all these crazy, amazing things, but you also have personal lives and responsibilities to deal with. So, how have you guys been able to keep sort of a balance between things like school and your own life and your initiatives and other responsibilities?